Area of trapezoids. A trapezoid is a quadrilateral with one pair of opposite sides that are parallel called bases, and one pair of opposite sides that are not parallel called legs. Similar to the altitude of a triangle, the altitude, or the height, of a trapezoid is perpendicular to both bases. We can see that it's perpendicular because the 90-degree angle is labeled there between the height and between the bases. In order to determine the area of a trapezoid, we need to follow a sequence of steps. The first step is cutting the trapezoid in half horizontally. If I click on the grid where the horizontal line should be shown, the line will appear with the two smaller trapezoids that are created. The second step is to rotate the top half, the red half, 180 degrees and move it so that it lies next to the bottom half. So I rotated it 180 degrees and I moved it. What new shape is created? We have created a parallelogram. After cutting the trapezoid apart and moving the pieces, we can see that a parallelogram is formed. The area formula of a parallelogram is base times height. How would you calculate the base of this parallelogram? We could take the two bases and add them together, and we would find the base of this parallelogram. So we have base 1 from the trapezoid plus base 2 from the trapezoid. Now, how would we calculate the height of this parallelogram? The height of this parallelogram, we just draw a line perpendicular coming 90 degrees from the base. So I draw my line, and that is my height. How is this height related to the original height of the trapezoid? If we were to take and move this back, rotate it the 180 degrees again and move it up, how is this height of this parallelogram related? The height of here is actually 1/2 of the original trapezoid. So our height that we have made in our parallelogram that we just created is actually 1/2 the height of the original trapezoid. Now we can put everything together that we just separated out on the last few slides. If we use the formula of a parallelogram for the area, we have area equals base times height. And we substitute in the base and the height values, we would get this equation. So we have over here is base 1 and here's base 2. So when we add them together, we end up with this part of the equation for the base of the parallelogram. Now, for the height, we have the height of our trapezoid, but in relation to our parallelogram down here, we had that height, and the parallelogram height is 1/2 the height of the trapezoid. So we can just rearrange our equation a little bit to make it easier to substitute in. So to find the area of any trapezoid, we take 1/2 times the height of the trapezoid. Then we take base 1 and base 2 and add them together and multiply by 1/2 of the height. Find the area of the trapezoid using the area formula. So I'm going to write our formula. Area equals 1/2 times the height multiplied by base 1 plus base 2 added together. I substitute in my known values. So I know that my height is 10, and then base 1 is 12, and base 2 is 9. When I solve, I add the 12 plus 9 and get 21. Now I have 1/2 times 10 times 21, and I get 105 centimeters squared. Find the area of the figures using the formula. I have trapezoids, so we'll do the one on the left, the area formula for a trapezoid we have. So I need to label 3 things. The height of this trapezoid is 0.7 centimeters. And again, I know it's the height because the line is perpendicular to the two bases. Base 1 is 1.2 centimeters and base 2 is 0.9 centimeters. I substitute in my values, then I do my multiplication. After I add 1.2 plus 0.9 and get 2.1, and my answer is 0.735 centimeters squared. For my second trapezoid, I have my formula for the area of a trapezoid. My height is 1 1/2 meter. Base 1 is 2 1/2 meter, and base 2 is 3 1/4 meters. These two numbers are not necessary for this formula. I substitute in my values. My first step for order of operations is I need to add the two numbers inside the parentheses. So first we're going to convert everything to improper fractions. Then I needed to find a common denominator of fourths. Once I do that, I can add what's in the parentheses together. And now that I have this, I'm able to do my multiplication. I get that my area is 69/8, which works out to be 8 1/8 meters squared.